So one thing that Christianity has done is it separated Satan from God. People believe, obviously, that we go to hell and we go chill with Satan. You know, if we're not good people here on earth, right? And that Satan is separate. He fell from heaven because he wasn't obeying God, right? So people take that literally. People take the Bible itself very literally, but a lot of the Bible is metaphorical. Because what I've been told is that Satan exists only in your conscious awareness. It's a state of mind. It's thoughts. Hell is a state of mind, which is what we're in right now. Because you can clearly see how all these people's demonic thoughts has created this horrible reality in which we exist in. And so part of us light workers is we're here to transmute our own demonic thoughts and transmute Satan, basically. All of us are supposed to be doing that, not just light workers. But right now it's light workers doing the majority of that. And that's the problem of separating God from, like, humans. You know, like, because, like, I also believe that this Earth planet and all planets that allow incarnation are planets to explore the separation from God. And the only way you ever feel disconnected from God is when you come down on a planet and incarnate and you explore the shadows. You explore the depths and the widths as far away from God as you could possibly get. And that's what we're seeing with, obviously, the Epstein people and the people running our country or the world for a while now. It's been run by Satan, basically. It's been run by demonic thoughts. It is. It's true. And so that's what we're here to change, shift, transmute, do all of that stuff. But that's why it's not when we've separated God. So, like, that's the thing. It's like, well, God created Satan, right? So technically Satan is God because God's everything. And it says that right in Genesis. God created the whole world. He created everything. So Christians believe that God created everything. But then they're like, but then when bad stuff happens down here, they're like, oh, that's Satan. And it's like, well, Satan's part of God. So that's technically God still. Because you all believe that God created everything. So that's part of God's creation. So you believe that God is perfect. You believe that God doesn't make mistakes. So what do you think about Satan? And they're like, oh, well, it's free will. God gave all of us free will, and Satan chose to disconnect from God. But God created him. So he knows, and he's all-knowing, right? So then he knew that Satan was going to disconnect from him. So you see that there's lots of different, like, little teeny tiny minute, like, hypocrisies within the Christian religion, like, right off the bat. Literally within the first book alone, Genesis, there's like a fuck ton of controversy and hypocrisy. Adam and Eve, that whole situation where they blame women for all of the world's problems in the book, it's like insane that we were created from Adam's rib, right? And it's like, bullshit. What the fuck is that shit? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it already puts women, down. And then women are the temptresses. We're the ones who, like, took the apple to descent from God and not listen to him. Women don't listen to God, but men do, right? So you see how they set this up. They set it up for patriarchy. And, I'm like, I can't believe I didn't see it all these years. I blindly just bought this shit like it was, because of how it's reinforced, especially here in America. The way it is conditioned and enforced is insane. Christianity alone is insane. The way people treated me when I was Christian versus not. And being asked that question, oh, are you a Christian? Even my friends were like, I remember my girlfriend, like, she's going to be so shocked. This is the one girlfriend that I had to leave because she was defending her pedophilic husband. And everybody gaslit me. My entire 9 group of friends ganged up on me and gaslit me and told me that I was taking it too seriously and I needed to get over it. Because he was never held accountable, her husband. And she stayed with him, and they went to Christian counseling, which at that time I had a fucking issue. I still have an issue with it because I know Christianity's steeped in patriarchy and manipulation and all this stuff. And so one of the things that she asked me was, how was my relationship with God? Because she was still Christian at that. So like, she knew me when I was like deep in Christianity, like deep, was going like 4 or 5 times a week in high school. And then she saw me kind of, go away, like completely after, I took drugs and I took acid and I had an ego death. I was like, oh, fuck God and fuck Christianity. So no, I'm good. And so, she always was like checking in on me in my relationship with God. And I remember like, it's one of the last conversations I had with her. This was now 3 years ago because I ended up having to leave her, or maybe 2 years ago, 2024. I don't remember what. Maybe it's 2023. 2023 is when I had to leave her, in November 2023. And right before that, she's like, so how's your relationship with God? And I was like, oh, I fucking hate God. I don't have a relationship with God. He doesn't fucking exist. Like, he's literally obsolete to me. Like, I believe in the universe and that's fucking it. But of course, I was still believing in God. I was calling it the universe. I was angry, in denial. Still in 2023, I was pissed at fucking Christians. And I was pissed that she's asking me that question. Because I'm like, all these Christians, they always try to be like, just, how's your relationship with God? Like, how are you doing on your Christianity? And it's like, I'm not, kind of thing. So now that I'm reconnected back to God, I don't talk to any of my friends anymore. And so all of them are going to be shocked that I, have reconnected back to God. But of course, it's not like in the same way. That's the Fibonacci sequence, when you kind of like revisit the same idea, but just like with a different perspective. And so I reconnected back to God because God came to me and started channeling with me, and he gave me all these answers for shit. And one of the things he told me was that that we're actually God. That we're actually God. All of us are like little fractals of his soul, and that he's experiencing this reality through every single soul down here. And so, my relationship with God is great now, because I believe I am God. And I know, it's not that I believe, it's like I know that we are all God. And that just makes logical sense to me. Like, again, the downloads that I've gotten make logical, coherent sense. And so that's where it's like the Bible does not, if you take it literally. If you take the Bible literally, it doesn't make any logical, coherent sense. There's a lot of like, and I've seen a lot of people too be like, the Bible's the only book that doesn't have any like hypocrisy in it. And I'm like, it's full of hypocrisy. Are you fucking on shit? So that's, again, the other thing that people take literally is Jesus's life. They take his life like, okay, it was just this one man and, all this shit. But like, we are clearly seeing with our eyeballs right now that there are way more people than one person that have Christ consciousness in their conscious awareness that seemingly came out of their left ass cheeks. Because it's like, how the hell did I get this fucking information? And then you're coming on here and you're like, oh, you guys all fucking know Christ consciousness too? How the fuck do we're all saying that word, Christ consciousness, like all this shit, right? It's just crazy. I'm like, okay. So we're clearly seeing that it was more than one person. And we're seeing that, there's just like a lot of, that's the other thing my dad fucking hates is tarot cards. And I'm like, dude, tarot readings have saved my life. Like, they think it's like this demonic thing. And I'm like, it's literally reconnected me back to God. I can't wait. That's what I'm so excited for. It's just to like literally just shove it up these people's fucking assholes. Like, prove them fucking wrong. Like, genuinely. I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait to like stare these bitches in the face who have ruined my life over Christianity and tell them that I know they're fucking wrong and here's my fucking proof. Like all this stuff. So I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be great once we're over this like hairy collapse part, because we are going to get into the rebuild eventually. We just have to get through this collapse. Which I'm struggling. So, I'm not sitting here like, I'm like, holy fucking shit. Cream cheese intestines. What the fuck are we talking about right now, guys? Are you okay? What are you doing, God? What you doing here, bud? This is, okay, this is a little hard to stomach here. You got some fucking serious fucking problems, like how the fuck, why would you design people this way? But, it is what it is. At least it's not me, Finally, I'm not the crazy one. There's other crazy people. So that also sets us up to not be crazy, because it could be worse. You know what I'm saying? We're not that crazy compared to these fuckers. So it's really setting the stage for us to not look as crazy, genuinely.